Oh boy, here we go.
From True Lies to American Sniper, from 24 to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Western media is full of images of evil brown people who need to be wiped from the earth by noble, righteous white men heroically fighting for freedom and justice.
Okay, such as? Indiana Jones? Are you fucking serious, Anita? I mean, have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? It's not like the main antagonists of the entire movie are fucking Nazis. And do you know what is funny about that one particular scene? This is a true story, by the way. Harrison Ford was sick. There was supposed to be this big fight scene with him and the other guy. But because he had to take a shit every 10 minutes, they only could shoot in a very short time period, obviously. So he decided wouldn't it be also funny if he would just take out his revolver and shoot the guy? But, I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark is Islamophobic? Have you seen the movie? I know I'm going to be asking this question quite often, but have you actually seen the movie? Have you actually seen Iron Man? Because if you did, you'd know that the doctor that saves Tony Stark's life is Muslim. And there's a quite good scene between the two where Tony Stark realizes that his weapons have been bombing the doctor's village, and he knows them very, very well. And basically he invents the power that, powers up the Iron Man suit. So I got to ask, have you actually seen the movie? And, I mean, are you really criticizing a scenario where a white man is being taken hostage by radical Islamists? Yeah, like that never fucking happened, right? You do know that Chris Kyle is not a fictional character, right? You do know that Chris Kyle was an actual sniper that fought in Navy SEALs. You do know that, right? And that the scene that you're showing might have actually happened. You do realize that you're actually criticizing a real life event? You do know that you're criticizing something that might have actually happened? And I got to ask, isn't that a little insulting? You're not criticizing something that was fictionalized. You're not criticizing something that was a pure fiction. You're not criticizing Lord of the Rings because the Uruk-hai are being played by a black man or something. You're criticizing something that actually happened. And I got to ask, isn't that a little fucked up? Isn't it a little fucked up that you're talking about how these white American brave men are going to Middle Eastern countries to shoot all the brown men, and you're actually showing something that is based on a real life event? I gotta be honest, it seems a little messed up. But I mean, carry on. What was it that you said previously?
Western media is full of images of evil brown people who need to be wiped from the earth by noble, righteous white men.
Oh. Then why are you showing us Samuel L. Jackson? But I mean, I get what you're trying to say here. I do, you're trying to show us that Americans are always the good guys in movies, and there are always these bad, evil Middle Easterners, these radical Islamists, that the only goal in their mind is to just wipe out the Western countries in the name of jihad and Muhammad or whatever. I get it, I do. But when you're trying to prove a point that it's always the white people, white men that are behind the freedom, the imminent freedom, incoming fucking freedom, probably don't show us Samuel L. Jackson. But I mean, that's just me. Carry on.
God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
What? Back to the Future? Even that beloved comedy classic takes a moment to toss in a few scary brown men to menace and terrorize our white heroes. Unfortunately, we can't hop in Doc Brown's DeLorean and undo all the harmful representations of Muslims, Arabs, and Middle Easterners that have haunted our stories since basically since the Crusades.
Yes, even Back to the Future had terrorists. Whoop-de-fucking-do. They're the tiniest plot point in the entire movie, completely not fucking relevant. They needed to kill Doc Brown that's how they did it.
Okay, maybe that's not entirely fair. In some ways, things have changed. Once upon a time, non-white actors could hardly get any work in Hollywood at all. These days, shows like Homeland and movies like Executive Decision are providing some brown actors with ample opportunity to portray scary terrorists who get gunned down while screaming something absurd like "Death to America."
Now, this point actually kind of pisses me off. First of all, because I've got to get back to the question. Have you actually seen Homeland? Because I did. I've seen 4 seasons of the show. And to say that, oh, finally brown actors have a chance to play a character that is only there to get murdered by white people, have you actually fucking seen Homeland? There are plenty of very positive Muslim characters. Characters with depth, characters that are actually really sympathetic. And you know what? I was even able to sympathize with the main terrorist in the first 2 seasons of the show. And you know what? It's not like, and I mean, I'm sorry, I might be getting this wrong, but it's not like the main fucking terrorist was a white guy. Are you gonna complain now that, oh, well, you know, Damian Lewis was playing the main terrorist, and that role should have been specifically tailored towards a brown guy. I mean, this is just whitewashing. It's just whitewashing. Brody should not have been white. It's disgusting. This is so Islamophobic. I can even let me. You know what? I'm gonna get my fucking Bill Cosby sleeping medicine and shove it up my fucking ass because this is so fucking stupid. And it just proves my point, Anita, that you don't know what you're talking about. To say, and the arrogance behind that statement is astounding. To say that brown people only portray terrorists in fucking movies and TV shows. What? Have you seen Masters of None? Have you seen The Night Of? Have you, Anita? Please tell me that you're aware that these things exist. I'm giving you too much credit, I know.
Now sure, not every Middle Eastern character in films is a villain. In the 1921 box office smash The Sheik, the dashing hero gets the girl in the end. But the Arab world of the film is presented as exotic and dangerous, and the Sheik himself, the one good, heroic Arab, is played by Italian-American heartthrob Rudolph Valentino. You see, since he's not really Arab, he's allowed to get the girl in the end.
When was this movie made?
1921.
Yes, let's carry on. This is stupid.
If you think this kind of racist coding to signify the difference between good Arabs and bad Arabs went away with the advent of talkies, think again. Have you ever noticed how in Disney's Aladdin, the good guy might as well be a tanned American surfer dude, but the bad guys look and sound a little more, Arab?
Such a funny fucking joke. And you saying that, hold on, Aladdin looks like a tan American surfer dude? No, he doesn't. He looks fucking Arab. I mean, look at his fucking clothes. Do American surfer dudes wear these kind of clothes? I mean, what are you trying to say? Jafar just looks plain evil. He has nothing to do with looking like an Arab. Aladdin looks like Arab. And no one gives a shit. It's Aladdin. Oh my fucking god. Are we really talking about fucking Aladdin? When we're talking about portrayal of Muslims?
For example, take Mr. Habib, the scheming Middle Eastern villain in Father of the Bride Part 2, who's played by Eugene Levy.
The Habibs would like to buy the house, George. It's exactly what they've been looking for.
We've lived here 18 years. I don't know if we can get everything.
Those aren't even real words he's saying to his wife. It's just vaguely Middle Eastern sounding gibberish.
It's a comedy. It's a dumb fucking comedy. Have you seen the movie? It's really dumb. Who gives a shit? It's supposed to make you laugh in the most basic, primitive level. That everything that Arabs say sounds like... That's the point. Are you gonna criticize Team America World Police because of this exact thing? They did it as well, for comedy purposes, for nothing else, to show the ignorance how Westerners might view Arabs. That everyone is just wearing a fucking towel around their head and all they talk is Muhammad, jihad, jihad, hala, hala. That's the point, Bakadaka Street. It was funny. That was the purpose of it. It wasn't supposed to be taken seriously, nor is Eugene Levy's performance here.
As insidious as it is to flatten entire cultures and populations into the land of squiggly writing, there's nothing so pervasive and damaging as Hollywood's tendency to constantly portray vaguely Middle Eastern people as generic terrorists. It's so common that on screen, brown skin has practically become synonymous with bad guys who have little or no character development beyond hating America and freedom fries. Oh, thanks, Jack Bauer. What would we do without you?
What would we do without Jack Bauer? I don't know, maybe, the entire fucking subway would explode with a ton of innocent people dying? It's not like, but, come on, that never happened, right? That's completely fucking fake. Oh. That keeps on happening. Oh, okay. Well, what?
A Muslim is someone who practices Islam, a religion with over 1.7 billion members spanning a vast number of ethnic and cultural identities. The Muslim world actually comprises a multitude of groups that folks often forget, including Iranians, South Asians, North Africans, Indonesians, Black Americans. Islam is not confined to the Middle East, to olive-skinned people, or just people who speak Arabic. But despite the fact that Islam is a religion, not a race, it's vital for us to understand that Islamophobia is racism.
Here we go, folks. If you follow news, if you've ever seen any horrible accident happen, or accident is not the correct word, if you've ever seen an actual terrorist attack in Paris, in Manchester, anywhere, it doesn't fucking matter, and you thought to yourself, oh my god, I am scared of these radical Islamists. You racist fucks. How dare you? How fucking dare you? You got scared? Because a lot of people got shot? Oh my god, how could you be so racist towards radical Islamists? Are you Islamophobic, you racist fuck? Do you see how stupid this argument is? Islamophobia is not racism. You are not being scared of a race or an ethnic group of people. You are being scared of radical Islamists doing what they do. And you'd really have to have a death wish if you wouldn't be fucking scared. Just a tiny bit. Somewhere deep inside your soul. If you wouldn't be afraid of this nonsense. You'd have to be insane. And that's the thing that just keeps on annoying me. And a lot of people around me. A couple of years ago, when there was a terrorist attack, when 9/11 happened, it was like, oh my fucking god, what just happened? This giant event, ton of people died, it was awful. The event was scary. And now we don't even go a couple of weeks without having another fucking terrorist attack. It's getting boring. And this is the thing, we shouldn't be waking up to the news of another terrorist attack and think to ourselves, oh boy, here we go again. How many? Oh well, 42 this time. Well, that's not so bad.
If you've been paying attention this far, you might be asking yourself, if Islam isn't a race, then how can Islamophobia be racism? The answer lies in another ism, one many Westerners aren't particularly familiar with. That's Orientalism. In short, the term Orientalism refers to how, for hundreds of years, Western artistic and academic history has perpetuated an ignorant and prejudiced view of the East. A view rooted in the idea of Western culture as inherently more advanced and enlightened.
Well, are you saying that's not the case? Are you saying that Western countries are not more advanced than Middle Eastern countries? Because if that's the case, that's really dumb. That's like saying that, oh well, you've heard about this country called Japan? Oh, they're in the Stone Age in terms of technology. What do they know? What do they got? It's stupid. It's really dumb.
So there's a conflation of Arab with Muslim, and because our ideas about Islam are so deeply linked to stereotypes about terrorism and violence, both of those categories are associated with masculinity and men. While many male Muslim actors in Hollywood can only find work playing bit parts as evil terrorists, Muslim women are often erased altogether.
This argument makes no sense. Look at it this way. When media, when movies, video games, books, TV series, whatever, when media portrays radical Islam, when they portray war that is taking place in Middle East, who do you think is fighting in that war? Mostly, it's men. Men with penises. Hairy penises. That's who's fighting in these wars. All these terror attacks that keep happening, who did them? Who was behind them? They were men. That's why they're portrayed more. Not because women, we want to see those sexy burqa ladies. That's not the case. It's because when you're talking about terrorism, when you're talking about war, men are mostly fighting. Men are mostly doing all these terror attacks. That's why they're portrayed more. Not because men don't want to have sexual fantasies about Muslim women. I mean, do I need to speak the name? Mia Khalifa?
Filmmakers and TV producers know how to objectify women, how to prize them for their physical attributes and their appearance. The stories we allow ourselves to tell about the Middle East don't allow for the same kind of easy objectification of these brown women's bodies, and so we resist including them at all.
Trust me, Anita. When Westerners want to sexualize something, they're gonna fucking do it. It won't matter what you're gonna wear. It won't matter. We're gonna sexualize it.
Mom.
At least we can thank 24 again for casting the great Iranian actor Shohreh Aghdashloo in season 4 as a Muslim terrorist who is also a wife and mother.
What? Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that what you wanted? What? I mean, you just said that, well, because we can't objectify them, because Westerners, oh my god, such a big objectifiers of women, only want to jerk off to them, they want to have their Emily Browning, so they don't include Muslim women at all. But when they do include them, well, it's just, she's a terrorist and also a mother. I mean, a mother. What the fuck? What kind of character is that? I mean, she's fully clothed, she's playing a mother. What?
Now, I can already hear the army of Richard Dawkins parroting anti-feminist Twitter users typing up their responses about how Islam is a religion dedicated to oppressing women. It's amazing how suddenly everyone's a feminist when it lets them perpetuate hate against brown people or dismiss concerns about how women are oppressed in their own culture. So let's be clear. Misogyny is not a problem with Islam. Misogyny is a problem that some cultures, which happen to be Muslim, use the religion to perpetuate and justify. Christianity has been used as a tool to oppress women around the world for millennia. It's specifically because our media perpetually equates Islam, a religion followed by nearly a quarter of the world's population, with evil, terrorism, and oppression, that so many people believe that's what Islam actually is.
You don't watch enough TV and movies, Anita, because that simply is not true. I mean, I could list examples. Do you want me to? Okay, fine. Movies like Incendies, which is one of the first movies that I've seen from the director of Arrival. I'm sorry, I won't even attempt to pronounce his name. I'm terrible with his name. Is about basically two twins traveling to Middle East to fulfill their mother's last wishes. And they're all Muslim. All of them are Muslim. And it's a really interesting movie. Really good drama. Really cool movie. You might want to throw up after watching the movie because it's really heavy and really difficult to watch. But it's a genuinely, phenomenally well-made movie. The Night Of, TV miniseries. Again, a phenomenal HBO miniseries whose main character is Muslim. The same actor also starred in Four Lions, which is about 4 radical Islamic terrorists who are trying to do their biggest terror attack, and it's a comedy where all of the actors are Muslim. They're making fun of the entire fucking thing, and it's hilarious. I recommend you watch it. You've talked a lot about Homeland. Well, I don't know what Homeland you've seen, but the Homeland that I've seen, actually, what made it interesting for me is that it showed both sides of the coin. That's what made Homeland interesting for me. It wasn't just CIA fighting against terrorism. No. They showed you both sides. I'm not a feminist. Never have been, never will be. There are some opinions of mine that might be viewed as feminist, but I'm not. I really am not. I do, however, like Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens. But this has nothing to do with feminism. Me acknowledging that women in Middle East live like shit is not feminism. It has something to do with basic fucking human decency. That their clitorises shouldn't be chopped off, that they shouldn't have their heads chopped off because they got raped. It's basic human fucking decency. It's not feminism. Just because I want for these women to have normal fucking lives doesn't mean that all these people that are saying that modern Western feminism is an insult to Middle Eastern women, they're not feminists. They're just rationally thinking human beings. That's what they are. Which brings me to conclusion. I feel bad for the peaceful Muslim people. I genuinely do. It's a shame that a lot of people seem to throw a lot of fucking Muslims into one basket and just call them terrorists. That's simply not the case. And you'd have to be a complete fucking idiot to think that, well, are you a Muslim? Then, well, I suppose I shouldn't be hanging out with you because every single time I'm out with you, you just hate my God, you want to blow me up. I feel bad. I do. But to call out anyone who's like, well, look, these terror attacks, I mean, we should do something about radical Islam, and to label them as fucking racist and Islamophobic, just brush them off like, oh, well, go fuck yourself, you fucking Islamophobic asshole. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Now, I won't be making any more videos on Anita Sarkeesian unless it's gonna be something really dumb. But this actually triggered me. For the first time in a very long time, I genuinely found myself triggered. Like, I never understood the expression before, but this made me mad. Genuinely mad. So I had to make it. I just had to make this video, and hopefully you've learned something. You've learned that Harrison Ford had to take a shit on the set of Indiana Jones. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.